Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time with Amy and Bev. What's happening, girl?
Oh, just trying to hit the buttons just right, you know?
We gotta hit the button.
Yeah. Nothing like, hitting the buttons, triggering, doing all those kind of things. Putting you to the test tonight because we were supposed to meet at a certain time and you're calling me up. I just happened to walk in the house and
Oh,
grabbed I just happened to look over if it was divine timing, I'm telling you. Because
yep.
I didn't have my phone on me when I'm at home. Half the time I don't have my phone on me. So I laid it down on the side table and I was just walking in through the front door and looked over. My phone's all lit up and I'm all like trying to look at it cockeyed and it says Amy and I'm like, oh, and all these thoughts and all these emotions and feelings went through me and so fast. It was so fast. I was like, oh shit. And I get in the bathroom and I'm like, oh, I gotta hurry up. And Freeman's like, what are you doing? I said, we're supposed to be doing tea time.
And
So
here
anyway,
we are.
I was checking to see if I was going to trigger you, and here we are. And I'll just say, for the record, you look very nice today.
Thank you.
You're really. I'm not just saying that, but you do look really nice. Your hair looks nice. Your earrings look nice with the shirt or blouse you have on. Just looks nice.
Thank you very
So
much. It's all I'm
yeah,
gonna blame it on the lighting. My cheesy uh lamp, desk lamp. I don't have one of those special ring lights or anything yet. So hey, if I look good, great. I got my salt lamp over here highlighting.
that's right. That's right. Because it's a vibrational thing. It's
Yeah,
all about vibrations and frequency.
yeah. I'll receive it all. I will receive it all. It's been a great day. As far as um like feeling lifted up. I had the opportunity to lead a meeting today of an organization I'm in, and I got a few compliments after that. So, when somebody does something and you enjoy it, say something to them, like compliment them, give them an attaboy, pat on the back, something, because that does lift their spirits. And even though I've said this before, I'm not living with the need of those compliments because it's going to be a matter of how I felt about it and how I felt I did. And I felt good about it. I was good, but then I had a handful of people tell me you did a really good job. So I'm like, thanks. So, and it was very heartfelt, and I received it, and which is huge because when we're talking about these things, I compare myself to who I used to be. And in years past, first of all, I would not have led a meeting. Let's just make that very clear. I would not be in front of a group of women, and we're talking about 20 to 25 women. No way in hell would I be doing that. So that, first of all, is huge. But to receive a compliment, to be acknowledged, to be seen, to be heard, um, to be given that, kudos, would not have known how to receive that. So it's just again, as we've talked about before, is each of these experiences are indicators for where I'm at with myself, and just keep moving forward and doing the best I can in the moment, and just keep getting better at it. So that's exciting to me.
But it is exciting. Right now is exciting.
Yeah. So
Gosh, and I was just even thinking about it. Sometimes you might be in a position where you can't tell somebody, right away. Maybe it's while they're doing the speech, right? You don't get an opportunity afterwards, but you can still send it with feeling, with
yeah,
energy. It's just sending it. And that goes back and reminds me of when I would say before, I would put my hand on my heart because it just seems like it would activate it, which is a nice way of spirit. Let me know. This is another way that's beneficial for me because it's my focus has been a lot really is making sure my heart's open.
yeah,
And it's like we really know by how we feel. How are you reacting to the person that's in front of you? How are you reacting to the phone call you're getting? Or I mean, how you're responding. You don't even have to be reacting, but it's how you're responding to things. Do you feel sharp? I mean, it's really just checking in with self because nothing that happens in our experience is a bad thing. It just happens in our experience to let us know where we're at. It's almost like driving, riding that boat down the stream. It just lets us know what's ahead so we can navigate around it. That's all.
Yeah. It's been a great day. Like I just feel like I'm on kind of a cloud nine type of thing, and I'm just floating today.
That's
Just,
awesome.
I mean, there's been some hiccups, and that's all they were, and just move through it, and it's been very, very interesting.
Nice.
So
I like it.
I know, me too. Again, comparing to history, most of my days were wrapped up in anger and being bitchy and didn't give care about anybody really, lack of compassion for sure. um so it's really uh say uplifting. I don't know what the word is at this moment. Refreshing, there it is. It's very refreshing to feel this other side of the fence. And it's not
It
about
almost
the green grass. The green grass is better on the other side. No, it's
Mhm.
not about that. It's
No, it's all about like a different perspective. It's almost as if you're seeing things from a higher perspective.
yeah,
You're just you're looking at it from a higher energy. I don't know.
yeah. So it's been very,
Nice.
very good. And before we got on, before we started recording, I was explaining to Bev that I just got back from vacation, which was great. It was like 10 days. Um, and I came back knowing I had a full schedule. And then I just committed to fit something else in, but it's something that's important, not doing it out of an obligation or people pleasing. It's something of importance. And so I did commit to that. Um, and it's not about complaining of the things that are coming or happening or coming up that creates this full schedule, because I did it. I scheduled these things. I committed to these things. So there's no reason for me to be upset or frustrated or irritated with anybody else. And which I'm not. I'm not even frustrated with myself. It's time management and just learning to navigate those events, and being mindful to give myself some time to regroup and take a breath. So when Bev was a little bit late for our record, I was just sitting here. I was like, all right, I can breathe for a little bit. So it was
That's so
all good.
nice. That's so nice. And it also kind of reminds me, when I was on my way home today, there was an accident off the, or something happened earlier today. It was around, I guess, 10 or something. That's what time we were, or what time was noticed from here when the traffic was stopped. So, I mean, I didn't know anything about it, but it's still been stopped. And it's like there was a person that was right off the side of the road, and I asked if they needed help or, guidance, because they're on a dirt road in a nice vehicle. I could see where it was from, and it's like you're driving down these dirt roads, and you're only on the nice part right now. So it's like, but it's recognizing we all get into this hurry about things. And see, as soon as I realized I was not timely, at least not on the timely that I thought I should be,
Yeah.
I felt bad and I rushed in here. But it's like there's reasons that stuff like this happens. I wasn't supposed to. Like I could sit and beat myself up, but I wasn't supposed to be on with you right then. That's just the fact from my perspective. Now, from someone else's perspective, they might think, well, that's just ridiculous and that's not true. And it's not, but I really do feel like everything is divine time. It really is. We have such an idea. We project it all day long that we have expectations that things should be a certain way, and we've got to meet all these desires and do all this stuff. And slowly, by the end of the day, a lot of times people have left themselves behind and they're so busy running on fumes to take care of everybody else. We just don't stop and recognize sometimes when you get stuck in traffic like that, it's for you to get that breath. And instead, we can start picking up on everybody's energy that's all around us. And then that doesn't feel good because there's so much emotions that are going on there. And we all do it, whether we recognize it or not, we do.
And who's to say? Like I could have sat here and been irritated because, I got stuff to do, Bev. Where are you? Right. I could have been doing that. But here's the thing, that's my story. Your story could have been maybe you had something come up and it's an emergency and you had to tend to that. You're not looking at your phone worried about me thinking about tea time. You got something else that needs your attention. So knowing that it's not just about me, and to think of all the possibilities. Do I want to think the worst? Absolutely not. No. However, most of the time when somebody is running behind or doesn't show up, there's something else that has gotten their attention, of urgency. And so we create our, if I was to sit here and be irritated, I would have created my own suffering. Really, when I had the opportunity to take a breath with everything I've had going on. And why do I want to, so really it's like, why do I want to create that stress in my body when I have the opportunity to breathe and take a moment to relax? So we have these options, and I think people forget about that.
Yeah, because it's so easy to build on the story about the person not showing up. And it's like when you said that, it's not about me. It's like it's recognizing, because that happens to me still sometimes. And sometimes I gotta recognize again, it's not about me. So it's like not like I don't really need the reminder sometimes for myself. Because I'm recognizing when you said that, I was like, yeah, because I've been there. And I know I've even been there recently. It's not like I've been there, it's not like it was like 10 years ago. So it's like I've kind of walked that path quite a few times. But the thing is, we just don't stay there. We don't stay there because what good is it to, how does it serve you by suffering? It doesn't. Why would you punish yourself? No, you just show up and do better.
And so on another viewpoint of this, it just popped up. It's not what I was doing, but another viewpoint of this is, so to me, and I say this all the time, every experience is a learning experience. There's something to be learned. So the other side of that could be that, okay, I'm here, I'm on time, and I have a lot going on, and the other person is late. So what if I'm getting annoyed by that? Which, by the way, I didn't. I don't want you to think I did. But if I was to sit here and get annoyed by that, then the learning experience could be, don't make other people wait on me. So yeah. If be on time, respect other people's time, because you know what it's like when somebody's not respecting your time. So that's just another viewpoint, but looking at it from a learning perspective of, if you don't like to be annoyed because somebody's not mindful of your time, then don't do that to other people. So it's still a way to be better in yourself if you find it is something that's annoying you.
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
And that's how I've done a lot of my growth. Something happens and I notice how I feel about it. I'm like, okay, this is how I feel about it in this situation. So I want to do my best in not having other people feel that way about me. So then I would make my adjustments, whether it's my attitude, my tone, my body language, the words I'm using, any component that was frustrating or irritating to me, I would take note in myself. Is that showing up in me? And if it is, then I would change it in me, or I would be more mindful as to when I showed up in conversations or experiences to be very aware. So it's just, that's how I've trained myself, and it's just a continuous thing for me, and that's what has worked for me for a very long time. So
it's nice. Something kind of, I don't know if it's even relative really, but something that it's kind of big.
It's okay, whatever. We talk about whatever.
We talk about we know that there's no screenplay for the whole thing. Like we're not, this is it, guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
yeah.
not
Like I
sorry.
don't edit these videos or anything. The way it's recorded is the way it goes out. So
I get it.
is
I
there's
love
that.
it. Yep. But it's like one of the things that have been shown to me, you know how we take things so seriously and we always go look at, try to figure out the depth of where did that situation or problem come from? I mean, I do. I'm saying we, but I do. I have done that.
I do.
Thinking that I need to get to that space, and then realizing what I've been being shown recently is like if you just think about it as a chakra, but even beyond that, as an energy center, it's just out of balance. If we're thinking too much, that's just out of balance. If my feet are constantly aching or something's going on with them, I'm not grounded. Like there's so many basic things that when we look at things just by feeling things, and it's like that's kind of what's been shown to me recently. It's like we get so tuned into things that we're not, we make them too complicated, and things are so much more simpler. So I could sit and think, oh, I have this headache because of this, because of that, because, you know, all this whole string of events to get to that point, instead of just recognize I'm out of balance. I'm thinking too much. I need to allow receiving or stopping for a second, because that's what I've been doing lately. Stopping for a second and recognizing how do you feel that energy? Do you feel it more to the front? Do you feel it more pulling to the back? Like, what do you notice in the body? Because to me, it's just, those are our moments to get in touch with ourselves. And it's so quick, like your couple of breaths, because it's so easy to sit there, take your couple of breaths and just feel how you feel. Like stop for a few minutes and recognize, and then ask yourself, how, okay, gosh, well, I'm thinking a lot. So, okay, so maybe my third eye chakra or my crown chakra is out of balance. And if you don't know what to do, ask spirit, ask God, whatever you want to do. So let the information come through, but be in awareness of these things, because they're not bad. It's just seeking balance, right? So that's kind of what's been coming to me like so simple recently.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to do the take myself back to a root cause if I can find it. I personally, I like doing that type of work. Do we need to do that? It's been said no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that well, even Abraham Hicks said, you know, you don't have to go to the root cause and think
Oh,
about it and dwell on it and try to clean that up. So there's their perspective. There's the ancestral perspective where clearing up ancestral healing and wounds is or wounds and the pain and suffering is important. And then you have the multiple lives, right? So wherever you are on the spectrum and do whatever feels good to you. Personally, I like to go back as far as I can to say, oh, okay, yeah, I understand now from where I'm at why I showed up and did what I did then. And again, like I've said it a handful of times already in this recording, is I compare myself to who I used to be and how far I've come and how well I'm doing and how well I receive the goodness, the compliments, how I can feel like I'm standing in my power when I am in front of a group of women. So that's where my comparison is. And then other people I utilize to see, do I like their behaviors? If I do, I want to implement that. Do I not like their behaviors? Does it show up in me? So I I'm observing. I'm not going to say constantly because that would be a false statement, but majority of the time I'm observing people and taking note.
which is awesome, because that's all you're creating. You're creating everything that's around you.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
like it. Yeah, I like it.
And with this organization that I am a part of and hold a right now I'm first vice president of it, with the intention of being president next year, that I'm in a position this year to be very creative and make some shifts for the better, not to change the whole group, right? Change everything, jump in and change everything. That's not it. It's to shift to help it run smoother and with less amount of hours of effort. Because one of the complaints is that everybody's tired, which I get. especially the people that have been in it for 30, 40 years. Um, we're trying to ease that. And so having the opportunity to do that, again, just comparing myself to who I used to be is like, I stood there today in front of these women running this meeting thinking to myself, wow, look at you go. Look at you, how far you've come. I have these conversations with myself in things where I'm recognizing where I'm at. And it's like, holy shit. Am I actually doing this? So it's a lot of fun.
Do you find yourself in a space of fear at all? Do you feel any of those kind of feelings when you start to go on a stage or do any of this stuff now? Or do you feel like
Today,
really, huh?
I had no nervousness today. None. I
That's
was
nice.
calm and what I would say confident, and I laughed at myself when they said something to me, and then I just laughed at myself. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's do that, and just didn't take anything serious. I just it was it was pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah. So what came to me is prepare for your next shift
Shift or
because you
shift?
shift, well, don't you know? No, it's a shift.
To say, please clarify.
Like holy shift.
Holy shift. Okay, I got it. And with an F shift.
That's right. Yes, there is an F in there.
Yeah.
Gosh, you guys think that I'm always saying cuss words, but yes. So that's pretty cool. I find a lot of that interesting. And if everybody's paying attention to you, they're going to recognize the growth. Because it used to be kind of a fearful thing. And so to me, you're like shifting into now you're ready for the next thing. Because I feel like you've been doing so good with all this stuff, and it's like you're just being eased forward, like with grace and ease, really. Okay, so you did really great with that. We're gonna go, okay, next time it's gonna be 100 people, or it's gonna be 300 people, or
Yeah.
it just shifts. That's just how it shifts. And because you're losing that fear, that's the most phenomenal part. It's just like going away because when you're standing in I would assume when you're standing in your power completely, you're in your confidence, you're in your love. Really, that's what it's about. You're in that space and
Yeah.
nothing affects you in any way because you're in a space of love. How would you notice anything else?
So, which is interesting that you said all that, because I'm sitting here going, oh, shit. And I did say shit without the F, because what I committed to, the added piece to my schedule for this week is, in this organization I'm in, we work with a group of high school girls. And one of the things that I get to do is teach about confidence to high school girls. And my clientele is like 40 and older. That's my comfort zone. So, yeah. So, holy shit, I'm going into another shift really quickly here in the next couple days. And so, will there be a little bit of nervousness? Absolutely, because this is out of my comfort zone. Even though I've done it before, it's not something I would typically commit to.
So what's coming to me is it may not necessarily be a nervousness at all because it's like when you set yourself up. I was just hearing I don't remember if it was a psychic, a channel, somebody that was talking about how they set things up and they would set things up, kind of like just like setting your intentions ahead of time, but not really. You could still do that, but like almost you ask your team. You got your universal team, like help guide me,
Yeah.
help bring me, help the cycle would say like help me be able to bring the information that was best for them or something. I heard someone else say like I only serve the light of God. That was another way because really everything's from God, but when you break things down and start getting a little technical shit. Not shift. But anyway. I forgot where I was going with that. I got the little
Oh, is
shift
that
to,
ask for the guidance
oh, yes.
and I'm not alone.
Yeah, because you're not alone and it's remembering. So what I was saying is the psychic would ask, like, for basic information that they know that that person's going to be able to receive instead of giving them, the way we would normally talk to our 40-year-old clientele.
Yeah.
So it's how are they going to receive you the best? And it's like spirit's always going to guide you. So we're never alone. The fun thing is like what I'm recognizing lately in this conversation that we're not alone. And if we recognize that, then it's like I think things are a lot easier because we don't have to go do it by ourselves. I don't have to go in. It's like I'll ask God when someone's in front of me for a massage, how can I serve this person? From the light of God, how can I serve this person? And so it's like, it's whatever. It could be the conversation. And we've talked about this before, but it's been more frequently lately. And it's because, and I'm allowing myself to be open and terminology or whatever comes through me to be able to be said to the person. And it doesn't have to be the way I would say it. So that's something that I kind of been fooling around with a little bit. And so, because I had heard that and it made sense to me, it just made sense to be able to set myself up still because I'm not changing my frequency at all. I'm actually opening it up more to receive whatever frequency, however, these people need to hear the message.
Yeah. And you're going to receive the message in a way you can hear it, and they will receive the message in a way they can hear it, even if it's through you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're only going to hear what they can hear in the moment. It's the same as you are only going to hear what you can hear in the moment. So, yeah, we're just all doing it in our own way.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I love it because there's just so much to learn. There's so much to see. It's like, how could you ever get bored here? There's too much to do.
There's so much to do and so much to learn and so many perspectives and so much information that it's every day is quite interesting. And I have said it for years. Somebody will say, well, if like for example, my son, he didn't say this to me, but as an example, I went and visited my son for my vacation, and I knew they had things that, I mean, they have a business, they got to work on their business. And so if he was to say to me, well, you can come, but I'm just worried that you might get bored because we have to work on our business. I have told people for very, 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 very long time, I never get bored because there is so much that you can do, that a person can do, and just sitting and breathing and meditating is doing. So it's like, I don't worry, I will entertain myself. Trust me. I'm pretty comical, and I crack myself up. So leave me in a room by myself, I am good.
Yeah. When I went to Florida recently, that's exactly how I felt too. It's like, we don't have to be doing something all the time. I like to have downtime. I didn't have downtime, but I like to have down. No, we did have some downtime, but it was like always constant there was always something we were doing. But it's like, I like the quiet, the peace. I like to get to play in the ocean and stuff, which was awesome. But it's just really recognizing all those fun things. But it was another thing. It was just it just brought a lot of peace.
I could just sit and watch an ant for a very long time and be okay.
Yeah.
I just don't get bored.
It's funny that you say that. My granddaughter and I, we were like watching an ant carrying a bee across
Oh, really?
in the wind. I mean, like you can
Oh
hear
my
the
gosh.
stories already,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But we sat there and watched it. It was just awesome to watch it. It was hot outside, but who cares? We were watching this ant like carrying this big bee. I'm like, oh, these guys really are strong.
They are
And
strong.
going down the dips between in the concrete. Yeah. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. But those are things that you get to appreciate. So I'm with you with all that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we said a lot. Hopefully something resonated with you. And if it did, great. If there was something we said that you could implement, do it. If there's something that resonated with you, have a conversation with somebody else about it, about what you learned. and also share the content, whether it's sharing the video or having the conversations. But have these conversations, because there are more and more people out there that would, it's a breath of fresh air for them to talk about this type of stuff. So there's that. Any final words?
I just want to say thank you to you, and thank you to everybody else for listening. Thank you, and thanks for waiting on me.
Yeah, of course. You're worth waiting for.
Well, thank you.
All right, my friends, you can find us on all kinds of platforms. We are on Facebook, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Facebook, Instagram. So we're kind of all over the place. And so if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comments so we can come back to it. We may not respond right away, but we do come back to them. And anyway, we like to interact. If there's something you would like us to talk about, we are open to suggestions. Bev and I show up. We don't pre-plan any of our conversations. It's just whatever comes up. So, and like I said, I don't edit our video. I don't do any editing on our videos. I don't have time for it, to be honest. So, all right, my friends, thanks for hanging out with us. Tea Time with Amy and Bev, and we will see you next time.
Bye.